Let's move back over to our left. Again, you can be seated on the ground, you can be seated on a chair, whatever suits you best. We've done our breath work. Hopefully everybody continued maybe opening up their shoulders a bit. We'll take our fingertips to our shoulders here now, and with an inhale, we'll circle our elbows up towards our ears, and exhale, we'll take them down. We'll do 2 more of these. Inhale, circle it up, and exhale, we'll take it down. 1 more. Inhale, circle it up, and exhale, take it down. Now we'll switch directions here, continuing to breathe with the movement. And remember to ask yourself here, what can I relax right now? Maybe it's your mindset, perhaps your internet connection is unstable and you've had to scramble around trying to get things working. We'll take 1 more and we'll relax. Very nice. From this seated position, either seated on the ground or in your seat, we're going to start to take some body circles. So we're going to start by circling down towards the right, circling forwards with the torso, and coming up through center. We'll just do a couple of these here. Notice if there are any areas that are a little tight in the body. See if you can relax those areas. Or perhaps as you move through these circles, you're not moving very far. They could be very little circles. Don't allow your mind to get stressed out with the size of your circle here. What can you relax right now? Maybe you can relax your approach to this practice. It's a very easy, gentle practice today. Wherever you are, we'll come to the bottom of our circle and we'll pause here for a moment. It might be leaning forwards a little bit. It might be leaning forwards a lot. It's totally up to you. Take a nice deep breath in, feel the back body expand, and on the exhale, we'll roll our way up. And we'll take that right hand out to the right, and this can be next to you on your seat if you're seated on a couch or a chair. With an inhale, we'll take that left arm up, and exhale, arc over towards the right. A nice side stretch through the left side of the body here. And think about rotating your chest open up towards the ceiling. If you find you're really collapsing down here, maybe don't go quite so far. So you have that range to open the chest up towards the ceiling. We'll take 1 more breath in. And on the exhale, we'll come on up to center, bringing that left hand across to the right knee and bringing the right fingertips behind you. And this can be seated on a chair or on the floor. I'll move back down here. With an inhale, you want to sit up nice and tall. And exhale, we're going to twist leading from the belly button towards the right, taking the gaze maybe over towards the right shoulder. Breathe nice and smooth here. What can you relax right now? Is it your approach to the posture, not cranking ourselves through as far as we can possibly go? Is it how you're breathing? Is your breathing really stressed here? Try to find that ease, that sense of easiness, easy breath as you enter these poses. We'll take 1 more inhale, and exhale, we'll make our way back to center. If you're seated on the floor cross-legged, we're going to go ahead and switch the direction our legs are crossed. If you're seated in a chair, feel free to stay there. We're going to do body circles in the other direction. So we're going to start by taking the body down toward the left, circling through the center, and coming on up. And maybe see if you can work the breath in here. So we'll inhale as we circle up, and exhale as we circle down. We'll take 1 more. We'll pause at the bottom, whatever the bottom looks like to us. Take a nice deep breath into the back body. And exhale, we'll slowly roll our way up. Now we'll take that left hand out to the left side, and with an inhale, take that right arm up. And exhale, arc over towards the left, getting that side stretch through the whole right side of the body. Again, you want to try to rotate the chest open here up towards the ceiling. Maybe that means you're not going quite as far. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, we'll come on up, bringing that right hand across to the left knee and circling those left fingertips behind you, either on the ground or on the back of your seat. With an inhale, we'll sit up nice and tall, and exhale, leading from the belly button, we're going to twist towards the left, maybe taking the gaze back towards the left shoulder. Continue to breathe here. Remember, what can I relax right now? Take a nice deep breath in, down into the belly. And exhale, we'll release, coming back to center. Very nice. From here, we're going to make our way to a tabletop position, but if you would rather remain seated, you can do so in your chair. I'll talk us through some variations. We're going to start doing some cat-cow movements here. If you're in your chair, you can bring your hands to your knees or your thighs, and with an inhale, lift the chest, take the shoulders back, take the chin up, and exhale, round it back, tucking the chin towards the chest. If you're in tabletop, we're going to be on the ground with our hands under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. With an inhale, we're going to sway the belly forwards, take the gaze up, and exhale, round it back, tucking the chin towards the chest. So it's a very similar movement if you're either in tabletop or seated, and we're just introducing some extra movement and flexion through the spine. Continue moving with your breath here, inhaling as you open up the chest, and exhaling as you round back through the spine. We'll take one more. And exhale. And we'll come back to a nice neutral position, either in tabletop or seated. We're going to introduce a little bit of core work here, and then we'll wind things up. This is a little bit of a shorter class than I've intended today. But it's important to really engage the core muscles that perhaps we're neglecting when we're slouching in our chairs, working at our computers all day. So if we're in tabletop, you can watch me first. We're going to extend the right arm and the left leg out, nice and long. And then we're going to exhale, bringing the knee and the elbow into me. If you're seated in a chair, we can do a similar exercise by reaching that right arm up and extending that left leg out, and exhale, bring the two to meet. And this will engage some different muscles here. And if you find it's a little tricky extending that leg out all the way, you can keep that leg bent. You can just lift it up and bring it in. And if you're down in tabletop, if you find it's a little bit too much of a strain, you can either extend just the arm or you can extend just the leg. So really you can customize this however you like. Whichever variation you're taking. With an inhale, we're going to stretch out nice and long. And exhale, we're going to curl it in. With an inhale, we're going to stretch it out. And exhale, curl it in. One more time, we're going to inhale, hold it here for a moment. Ask yourself, what can I relax right now? You're in a position, you feel it, you definitely feel your muscles working, but you can relax. What can you relax? What is in your control? And exhale, bring it in, and we'll return to neutral. Maybe wiggle things out a little bit. You can shake your hips back and forth if you're in tabletop here. And we'll work on the other side. So with an inhale, we're going to lift that left arm and that right leg, and exhale, crunch it into the middle. Inhale, take it out nice and long, and exhale, crunch it in. One more time, inhale, stretch it out nice and long, pause here. Ask yourself, what can I relax right now? Maybe it's as simple as lifting the corners of your mouth a little bit, introducing a bit of a smile, and exhale, bring it in, and lower back down. Shake out those hips a little bit, wiggle it out if you're seated. And now we're going to take our knees back if we're in tabletop, so we can lower ourselves down onto our bellies. If you're seated, you can still stay there, no worries. What we're going to do is engage the back muscles a little bit with some baby cobra movements, and I'll show you a variation to do seated as well. So from your belly, you want to take your arms out in almost like a cactus position with your fingertips on the floor in front of you. With an inhale, you're going to take your shoulders back, lift your chest up, and float your hands up here. Exhaling, bringing your elbows back towards your side body. If you're seated in a chair, you're going to inhale, reach up nice and high, and exhale, draw your elbows down in that cactus position as you lift your chest. So it's a very similar motion. We'll move through this a few times wherever you are. With an inhale, we lift up, and exhale, draw the elbows down. Return to neutral. Inhale, we're going to lift up, Exhale, draw the elbows down. Return to neutral. One more time. We'll reach up, draw the elbows down. Pause here for a moment. If you're on the floor, press the tops of your feet down into the ground and bring your attention to your breath. Is it moving in an easy kind of way? Where can you relax right now? Take one more inhale and exhale. Return to a neutral position. Relax, maybe rest your forehead on the ground. And take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly, if you're lying on the floor, we're going to press our way up towards a child's pose. Sinking our hips back onto our heels, resting the body down over the thighs. Bringing the forehead down to the ground, and if it doesn't come, you can stack your fists to rest your forehead that way. If you're seated and you'd like to remain so, you can extend your legs a little bit farther out in front of you and gently fold forwards, draping the body over the legs, holding on to the backs of the legs or your elbows, and relaxing your head down. Whatever position you're in, really breathe into your back body here. Feel it expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. We'll take one more inhale. And exhale, we'll roll up to seated, either in our seat or on our heels from child's pose. And before we wrap up our practice today, we have about 5 minutes left. We'll gently clasp the hands behind us. And you can keep your wrists fairly wide here. You don't need to really squeeze to keep them together. We'll take the shoulders back and then gently start to reach your hands away from your back, opening up through the chest. And again, you can do this seated in a chair as well. Breathe here. What can you relax right now? Take one more inhale. And exhale, we'll lower the hands down. We'll gently release. Maybe shake out the arms a little bit here. And we'll just loosen up the wrists a little bit before we return to our computers in a few minutes for the rest of our day and whatever work we do have on the go. We'll clasp our hands together and we'll gently just start to make figure eights with our wrists here. Maybe notice which way you're going and then reverse that direction. It can take a little bit of thought sometimes. Great, and then gently release, shake it out a little bit. We'll reach the arms straight in front of us. Flex those fingers back towards your face. And on an exhale, flip the hands down. One more time, we'll inhale, take it up. And exhale, we'll take it down. Very nice, shake it out a little bit. We'll reach the hands forwards again. This time, point your fingers in towards each other, your palms facing you. And gently curl your fingers in and maybe think about curling your knuckles in towards your forearms. This is a big stretch across the back of the forearm here. Inhale, open it up, stretch the fingers wide. And one more time, exhale, curl it in. And open it up and roll, release. From here, you can do this seated in a chair or on the floor. On the floor, you want your feet a little wider than hip distance, sitting up nice and tall, your knees bent in front of you. Gently knock your knees over to one side and then the other, loosening up the hips and the lower back a little bit. If you're seated, you can do the same thing, mounting your knees from side to side, mixing it up a little bit, just loosening things up. And then wherever you are, we're going to close our practice today either seated or in Shavasana, which is sort of the final resting pose in a lot of yoga practices. Shavasana involves lying flat on the floor, so it's up to you if you have a space where you're comfortable lying on the floor. Otherwise, you can sit up in your chair or seated, remain seated on the floor. If you'd like, you can join me lying down. We'll slowly lower ourselves down. You can use your hands to support you, or for a little bonus challenge, lower yourself down without using your hands to come to lie flat on your back, extending your legs out in front of you, Letting your feet splay out to either side, tucking your shoulder blades underneath you, resting your arms out, palms up. Gently closing your eyes. If you're seated, please close your eyes as well, or gently lower your gaze. And invite yourself to relax. Bring your attention to how your body feels. If there are any areas of tension or tightness. Notice how your legs are sinking down towards the ground. Your hips are heavy. Feel your shoulders melting down. Unclench your jaw and relax the muscles in your face. Ask yourself, what can I relax in my body right now? And then from your body, bring your attention to your breath. Notice if it's moving fast or slow, deep or shallow. And see if you can relax your breath a little bit more, extending those inhales and exhales. And then gently bring your attention to how your mind is moving. Notice if your thoughts are racing or perhaps very quiet. And then bringing your attention to your body, your breath, and your mind. Notice how you feel as a whole compared to how you felt at the very beginning today. Slowly bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. And if you're lying on the floor, we'll gently roll to one side. We'll keep the eyes closed. Before we press our way up, we'll seated to join everyone else. We'll pause just for a moment here. With an inhale, bringing our hands to center. And exhale, we'll gently bow the chin forwards towards the chest in gratitude for the time we've given ourselves here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this class had a few technical difficulties, but I'm glad we worked our way through it. And just remember to ask yourself throughout the course of the day, what can I relax right now? Maybe physically there's something you can do, maybe mentally you can let go a little bit. Maybe you can just invite some easy breath back into your day. Again, thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next time.